And howdy folks, and a big RV Wingman welcome to today's video. As always, I appreciate you joining me around this virtual campfire where we talk about, well, real RV stories. They're not made up, they're not embellished, they are real. I bring you these stories so you can make better decisions and hopefully avoid some of the costly mistakes that others have made. Now, today's video is about a couple who purchased a brand new Heartland Torque fifth wheel. And let's just say that they didn't exactly follow what some may call the best practices when buying an RV. From making an impulsive purchase to skipping an inspection to signing paperwork before doing a proper walkthrough, this couple made just about every mistake in the book. And the frustrating part, they don't even seem to realize it. Now, before you jump to conclusions or crucify them in the comments, I want you to listen to their story and ask yourself, is this really about a bad RV dealer? Or is this a case of buyer responsibility or lack of responsibility? Now, I do want to defend Optimum RV here because I have not heard their side of the story. What I can tell you is that good RV dealers don't like selling to buyers who don't do their homework. That's because those buyers who don't do their homework are the ones that often end up unhappy, frustrated, and then blaming the dealer for things that could have been avoided. So, as you listen to the couple, I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below and let me know, I don't know, who is responsible here. Finally, during the story, my contact info will be coming up on the screen. I hope that you'll write it down and that you'll be willing to share your story so that others may benefit. It's real stories from real RVers that can help others avoid mistakes or find the pathway to becoming a happy camper.
So we went down to the RV show in Tampa a year ago in January, and we were deciding whether we wanted another pull behind travel trailer or if we wanted a fifth wheel. And I fell in love with this particular model because it had like a half dinette. It was the bench seating where you could add other chairs to the other side. And that was really what sold me. So we went and hit Optimum up on the way home because they were the ones at the RV show that were showing these Heartland models of the Heartland Torque. And so we went there to take a peek, and that's where it all started.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jim.
Walked in the door of the camper at the RV show, saw the dinette, said, "I'll take it."
Really? That's a hell of a floor plan there.
Whoa. Slow down.
Slow down just a little bit, right?
Yeah. So we end up looking at last year's model, which is now 2 years ago. Well, it was still a brand new model on the yard. It was $10,000 less than the one at the show because they were trying to get rid of last year's stuff.
Yeah.
And so, we were looking at some of the other tow behinds and stuff, and she was trying to settle for some other stuff, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, the fifth wheel has everything that you want. It has the outdoor kitchen and the dinette and all that. So if we can afford the fifth wheel, that's one we need to get. So we had no intention of buying an RV when we went to the show. We were just going to look. Accidentally fell in love with it. And here we are.
So in retrospect, do you wish that you would have taken a little bit more time instead of buying from the impulse of just seeing it and opening the door and go, I want it?
Not really, because we had already looked at Heartland Torque's used tow behinds. I guess maybe a used one may have been a better option because we would have gone through some of the, warranty stuff and all the manufacturer defects. Other than that, I mean, it's not a bad choice. It's just we've been dealing with a bad dealership.
So what happened? What happened with Optimum? I mean, what's the main issue?
Well, it's been to their first when we went to pick it up, there was a whole bunch of issues. Like literally we went to do the walkthrough on a Sunday because we couldn't do it on Saturday, because we had to, for other reasons, we had to go down to Tampa, get a truck, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, on the way back on Sunday, we did our walkthrough. Well, when they told us it was ready. When I did the walkthrough by myself, basically, because there was no one there to go through everything. So I was going through everything, firing up the generator, checking out all the outlets, making sure all the lights work. And then I hit the button to do the auto level. And when it came up, the plastic underlay was half laying down on the ground.
No.
Ready
So
to
they
go, right?
evidently they must not have done much of a PDI. It sounds
Right.
like
It was missing the TV in the main living room, and several other blemishes here that were supposed to be taken care of from the week before. And they said, "All right, we'll spend the night. We'll pay for your hotel room, and we'll get on it first thing in the morning. You can take it tomorrow." So we both burned a vacation day, stayed the night, spent all day the next day, and now it's a 7-hour drive to the house. I get up at 5:30 in the morning to go to work, and they kept coming out. Oh, we got this. No, we got that. And finally, like 5 o'clock.
hang on. Had you guys already signed the paperwork and it was a done deal and they're just trying to get rid of you, or have you not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Melissa, something when you wrote a beautiful email, the introductory, I mean, it was exactly what I needed. But one of my big questions is, what did they tell you? I want you to tell me this and let people hear this. What did they tell you at Optimum about your financing and what you needed to do in order to get the financing that you got on your Heartland?
All the warranties.
So in the beginning, they set us up with a bank that I could get a good interest rate and keep the payments down where I wanted. And then at the last minute, when they came back with the final paperwork, they had thrown in all the warranty stuff, which added up to about $20,000. And it was at that point.
My God.
At that point, it was either you wasted 5 to 7 hours or you sign the paperwork and cancel the stuff later, the warranties later.
Yeah, they're like, in order to get this interest rate, the bank wants this stuff, wants all these warranties added to it. And I was scratching my head going, I don't. What?
Okay, you know that I'm not a lawyer, but there are things called truth in lending. And I believe that if they forced you, if they said that the bank is requiring you to get all this extra stuff to buy the interest rate down, I have a hard time believing that. That sounds like deceptive trade to me. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that, do you have that in writing, or could you get that in writing from Optima? Because whatever we say, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff here. That's the biggest thing of everything that you wrote. It sounds deceptive to me because the financing should not be dependent upon you purchasing all the $20,000 worth of extras, which, by the way, have you canceled the extended warranty yet?
Yes, sir.
But they wouldn't allow us to cancel one of them.
That was the fabric and paint and fabric one.
Right. But the big one you were able to cancel.
Yes.
Okay. Did they put the money back towards the balance, your loan balance?
Yes, but now I have a high monthly rate because of the $20,000 worth of warranties that were tacked on. So
wait a minute. Did they raise your interest rate and your payments after you paid all that, after you canceled the ESP?
No, my payments in the beginning were $650, and then when they tacked on took off the $20,000 for all the warranty stuff, it didn't lower my monthly payment. And
it had to have shortened the length of the loan.
Well, yeah.
I don't recall that.
I'm sure it did. I haven't seen the paperwork. I can't imagine that it wouldn't have.
Yeah. Where's the RV now?
The RV is at a local dealer getting all of the things that Optimum screwed up fixed. So Heartland paid Optimum to fix these things. They didn't do it the right way. So now it's at another dealer near our house. And Heartland's paying a second time for these folks to fix our RV.
So Heartland has been workable, it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Are these
things that are not fixing? I can't fault them for not wanting to fix somebody else's mistakes.
did I read right, Melissa, that you said that Optimum had damaged the RV while they had it in their possession and created more damage than it was, or it came from the factory with some kind of a tear on it, or?
So the master floor, they cut an 8-foot section from the top, from the front bulkhead all the way back to our bathroom, because the linoleum, because the floor was not level. And I feel like that they should have said, ma'am, in order to fix your floor and make it all smooth, that we're going to have to cut your linoleum about 8 feet to smooth out the floor, before they went ahead and cut out or cut down the seam or the grout line of the linoleum to do that.
Why did they have to do that?
The floor is uneven in the master bedroom.
There's a spot where probably 4 pieces of plywood come together, and it's kind of uneven in that one spot. There was a soft spot in front of the master bed, which they did take care of that. But yeah, they literally cut the floor from the front all the way to the bulkhead of the bathroom, and they did an okay job gluing it back together.
So did you guys get an inspection before you purchased?
We did not.
You did not. In retrospect, do you wish you would have? What advice do you have for other people who are, interested maybe in a Heartland? Because it sounds like Heartland may be treating you right, but they didn't build it right. If the floor was uneven and you had some issues.
Yeah, we probably should have gotten an inspection. It probably would have helped. I mean, we were thinking it's a brand new rig. So to us, it's like, do we really need to have it inspected? It's brand new. It's under warranty, so anything that pops up, we'll just take it back to the dealer, have them fix it.
Have you watched many YouTube videos about, from people saying, hey, get an inspection, get an inspection? I'm not getting on you guys. I'm just wondering if you've seen it. You just assume that you wouldn't have to get one because it's a new RV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because most of what we're hearing out there is, on used ones, get an inspection. I haven't really heard a whole lot of when they're talking about brand new ones getting inspections.
In retrospect now, though, you wish you would have got an inspection on your brand new Heartland.
Yeah, they could have found some things.
Yeah. So what did Optimum RV do wrong? Don't give me I know there's a bunch of stuff, but essentially, was it just they were sloppy? Were they not professional? Did they lie?
There's a bunch of stuff that they just ignored. All the cosmetic stuff. They didn't, all the tape on the walls, they didn't even bother to look at that stuff. They, there's 2 holes in the roof in the membrane now. They slapped some tape over it. I don't know how the holes got there. They didn't do any work up there, but I don't think I hit a tree.
They can't tell us why. They couldn't tell us initially in the beginning why the tape was up there.
Yeah, so they said they found damage on the roof. Asked Heartland if they could warranty it. Heartland said no, so they slapped a piece of tape on it and sent it down the road. And they didn't bother to tell us anything about it. I get there to pick up the RV. I look up at the roof. I'm like, why is there a piece of tape up there?
Now, hang on.
Oh, I don't know.
You said you looked up at the roof, so it looked up at the ceiling then.
No, it's on the outside.
It's on the outside, the rubber membrane on the top.
Okay, but so did you get up on the roof and look?
No, you could see it from the ground. It was like right on the edge.
Okay. And it wasn't there, or was it there when you purchased it?
It was not. They did it because we had just gone camping with it up in Tennessee, and we dropped it off on Labor Day because they are open. They aren't open on the weekends, but on the way back from Tennessee, we dropped it off. And when I dropped it off, there was no tape there because I had been up on the roof cleaning the roof because I was going to do the UV protectant on it. And when I was up there, I found some wrinkles on the passenger side, which the couple of times we've used it seemed to be getting bigger. So
And how long you purchased it in 24?
Yes.
2024. So it's a year old basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got wrinkles in the roof, a hole punched in the roof.
Yeah.
Did you when you took it back to any of these dealers, did you take pictures before of the things that you knew were wrong with it? It's like when you rent a car, it's a used car. You got to do the walk around. There's a ding over here, and there's a scratch on the door over here. And I have often said to people when they drop their RV off, even if it's new, to have the dealer nitpick it and say, oh, the refrigerator's got a dent in it, and make notes, because oftentimes you'll pick it up like you guys did, and you may have something new that happened at the dealer. They're going to go, I don't know how it happened.
Yeah. Like when I went to pick it up the last time from them, that was the third time it was there. They were supposed to repair the fridge. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. It wasn't even plugged into the wall. But
what do you want Optimum to do? I mean, what do you to make you guys happy? What do you want?
Honestly, the floor to be fixed would be nice.
But they would need to pay to have somebody else do it. They're not touching our RV ever again.
I just can't trust them to touch it. That it's been there 3 times. That one of the slides, they destroyed the cable, so they replaced the cable. And that destroyed the motors. So it's like, when we first bought the RV, they put the new TV on the wall, and they didn't install it in the structure, so it literally fell off the wall. And they
have you guys created a we call it a defect diary starting from day one? Have you got like a one-sheeter of this went wrong, that went wrong, and here's the date, here's who we spoke with, and have you created that yet?
Not yet. I mean, kind of with the email that she sent you. We were working on that together, trying to make sure we got everything in order.
Yeah,
that would probably be helpful.
I have all my service logs as well.
So how much do you think the total damage is, if you will, that you allege Optimum did to your RV?
I can't imagine the floors are very cheap. I got to imagine to have the slides pulled out and the room gutted. That's got to be what, $5,000-$10,000 at least.
So help me to understand this. So the floor was defective from the factory, yes?
Yeah.
The flooring under linoleum.
The linoleum was,
the plywood underneath the linoleum.
Okay, so you took it back to Optimum, and they were going to quote unquote fix it, and what their fix was, they just cut the flooring.
They cut the floor to sand the wood underneath it.
To sand it?
To sand and smooth out the wood underneath it.
Did they say why it was warped up or why it was bent? The thing was not level?
No, they did not. They're not. There's very little communication between the people that fix your RV and the people that take your RV in, and then the people that check you out when you're ready to leave with your RV after they so-called fixed it.
How is the relationship with between you guys and Optimum now? Is it okay or is it strained? Tell me about that.
I don't think that they realize that there's a problem or that we have a problem with them, because she's been emailing me to come back in for the slide motors and a few other things, and I haven't responded.
Sometimes when I do these interviews, it's difficult because I want to be sensitive, but I don't want to blame, cast blame where maybe it doesn't need to be. How much of this situation do you think that better communication and record keeping and documenting emails and that might have helped precipitate a better situation? I mean, if you haven't created, if they said, hey, email us, and you haven't emailed them, that's not on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been, the whole time they've had it every time they had it, we communicated. In emails, when we dropped it off, I would tell them I'm a mechanic. I'm an aircraft mechanic. So when we go to drop it off, I would give them extra notes. Hey, the refrigerator is not working. We found AC power on the DC side. And their mechanics don't even bother to look at the notes. I had a problem with the fuel pump for filling the toys. It told them exactly what it was doing. You have to unplug the wire in the back, plug it back in, and the thing works for one round. Well, they came out, found the wire, plugged it in. Oh, it works. Well, we go to pick it up. Hey, look, no, it doesn't work. I told you, read the notes. So that they're not.
It sounds like to me, Jim, you guys scoot just a little bit closer together, right, if you would. It sounds like to me that a lot of these things are on Heartland. I mean, that if they would have made the fifth wheel properly, that Optimum wouldn't have had to step in and do many of the things that they did that supposedly turned into real problems.
Yeah. I get it was probably a COVID build, but when you're repairing something, you're not supposed to make it worse. You know, if they would have actually repaired things instead of taking 3 times to, I can't remember what it was. Oh, the leveling. I mean, that might actually be fixed. I got to do a reset of the system and find out. But like the fridge, 2 times on the fridge, can't find anything wrong with it. Well, did you bother to plug it in and try it? I mean, I can't get it to work.
So it was unplugged? I mean, but you...
Yeah, I left it unplugged because when I found power when it's not where it's not supposed to be power, I didn't want it to damage other things in the camper.
Okay.
So I unplugged it from the wall.
I may have asked this already, but so what do you we're going to kind of wrap this thing up. What are you hoping for? What do you...
I just want the public to understand that be careful if you're going there for maintenance, because their mechanics don't seem to be the most competent.
Well, there you have it. A real-life RV buying experience that, in my opinion, could have gone and would have gone a whole lot better if just a few simple steps had been followed. Number 1, slow down. Slowing down, doing research on the RV and the dealer you want to buy from. Unless you're willing to take chances, get an RV inspection. Do not take delivery until your new RV is shown to be what we call campground ready. Create a defect diary from day one. Just do it. And be responsible for your maintenance. Look, RV dealers are not responsible for you doing your homework. They're not. That's your job. They're not responsible for making sure that you get a great deal. That's your job as a buyer. Now, I want to talk about Optimum RV for just a sec. Does Optimum deserve some criticism for the way RVs were handled? Maybe not handled? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. But here's what I do know. A rushed purchase leads to regret. Skipping an RV inspection leads to surprises, and most of them are not good. Poor communication, ineffective communication leads to frustration. If you have learned nothing else from today's video, let it be this. Buying an RV is not like buying a car. Take your time. Do your research and never, ever sign the papers before you know exactly what you're getting. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think that this couple brought this situation on themselves? Do you? Should Optimum RV have done more? Who's really responsible here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And if you've got an RV horror story that you think could help others by sharing, or if you need help with your dealer or manufacturer and your RV still under warranty, call the number on the screen or send me an email. I'd love to hear your story and see if I can help. I'm the RV Wingman, watching out for you and hoping that you'll be a great wingman or wingwoman to others. I'll see you next time.